Today, the importance of selling yourself through life and my daughter Emery's weekend lemonade stand. Michael McLean, NoBullBook.com. That's this one right here, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life. Go to NoBullBook.com to get a copy of this doorstop. 380 pages. This book will show you how to finally build a world, a personal kingdom that you no longer need to escape from. 25 rules for living life and doing business on your own terms. I also have a monthly paper and ink newsletter at badassletter.com. So on yesterday, Sunday afternoon, my daughter Emery and her friend at the lake, we live about 5 minutes outside of town. There's 4 different cottages around us and there's ours. So we're outside of the community. And years ago, when my daughter was 4, so she's 9, so 5 years ago, my daughter Emery came home from her school with the inspiration to have a lemonade stand. And myself being yours relentless, it was an opportunity for daddy-daughter to work on a project together, especially an entrepreneurial project. So I said to Emery at the time, she was 4 years old, she goes, "Daddy, I want to have a lemonade stand." And I operate a barber shop on Main Street, retail heaven, Main Street in our community, busiest corner in the town. So I was thinking right off the bat, the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh boy, Emery can put her lemonade stand on the busiest corner in our town and she can raise all kinds of money and it'll be a great experience for her and she can do this in front of my barber shop, which is a perfect thing. So I sat down with Emery when she was 4 and I said, okay, I said, how would you like to do this? And she talked about lemonade and how she was going to make it herself and all this stuff. And I said, how are you going to make money and what are you going to use the money for? And it was just amazing when we asked the right questions of our children and our grandchildren. She goes, well, Daddy, I want to make all kinds of money and I want to give it to charity. And even she's 4 years old at the time, she kind of knew what charity was, but she wasn't certain. So I said, okay, what would you like to give it to the food bank? Would you like to give it to children's literacy, the library, the animal shelter? What would you like to do? And at the time she said, I would like to help kids play hockey. And I was like amazed at the time because, I said, wow. So my athletic trainer at the time was running a program called Team Player. And every Sunday morning, it's what I do now, is she would rent the ice for an hour and kids, low-income families that couldn't afford the thousands of dollars to play hockey, I would sponsor this, but they always needed donations. And it's a Sunday program for children, boys and girls that don't necessarily get a chance to play expensive hockey. Hockey's a very expensive sport. So my trainer ran this for 7 years and I've taken it over the last couple years every Sunday morning. So my daughter Emery says, I'd like to give the money to Tristan so that more boys and girls could play hockey. Because I had talked about this for many times that these kids were in it for the love of the game and all this other stuff. So I said, okay, well, let's see how much money we can make because the more money we make, the more kids can play hockey. So I talked to her a little bit about marketing, and I don't think we do our kids any favor by talking to them like little toddlers or underestimating their intelligence and their ideas. Krista and I always talked to Emery like she was just a regular person. We never did any of that baby talk. We never did any of this, It was like in our house over the last 9 years, we speak like we speak. We talk like we talk. I mean, there's no profanity or there's no rudeness or any of that kind of stuff. But my daughter knows what passion looks like. She knows what high energy looks like. She knows what it's like to be relentless. She knows what it's like to hear a voice raised. She knows what, good manners are. But we never, ever, tried to bubble wrap her or put her in a situation where, she wasn't going to learn grit and integrity and all this other stuff. If I'm passionate about something, I'm passionate about it. I talk about it at the dinner table. If I'm upset about something, I'm upset about something. If I'm proud of her, I'm proud of her. So we've always used that Brene Brown, clear as kind with Emery, my wife and myself. Clear as kind, clear as unkind. We've never been politically correct with her. We've never bubble wrapped or any of that stuff. So even at age 4, I said, okay, how can you make the most money? And she said, well, the location of the barbershop is big. She said, I want to write letters to your friends. So at the time I owned McLean Insurance, and we represent 11 different companies. So we talked about this, and she went and she slept on it. She came back to me the next day and she said, Daddy, I said, I'm not calling these guys for you. I'm not calling the company presidents. I'm not calling the CEOs. I said, if you want to write letters, you need to write the letter and I'll get it into the hands of the decision maker. So she came back to me a day later and she says, okay, I'm going to write a letter asking for donations to her lemonade stand. So she does this, and she did crayon letters, and I still have copies of them here. And she literally wrote a crayon letter that I got photocopied in crayon. So we had like 15 letters. And it was, dear whoever, and it was, I'm having a lemonade stand. But it's a wow marketing piece, right? Because she's written it in crayon, and it's her own printing. And she asked for a donation of $500, $1,000, or $2,500. She gives them the old 1, 2, 3 options, not the old, I'm not going to donate. These are big corporations, big insurance companies. So we need to cut through the clutter. I'm not going to send an email or a text or any of that stuff. I'm not going to use my influence at all. So she puts these all together. She hand addresses them in real envelopes, puts a real stamp on them, big envelope, crayon handwritten, and we mail these. And of course, I'm going to follow up in a few days by phone. That's the least, that's all I'm going to do. So she sends these crayon letters to the COOs, CEOs of these companies that I represent. So to make a long story short, before the lemonade stand happened in a week, I've already got responses from marketing directors and CEOs and managers of these companies, and the donations are starting to come in. This one company gives $250, another one of our insurance companies chipped in $500, and then the mother lode, the whale of all, Aviva Insurance gives us $2,500. They give a 4-year-old $2,500 a check. So these arrive in our courier, and my dad's working there at the office. He's like, holy, Emery's a machine. So right off the bat, before the lemonade stand even takes place, my daughter's got like $4,000 in donations from these different companies with just a simple crayon letter that I FedExed for her, and she did the envelopes and all that stuff. Then the next step is we have the lemonade stand a Saturday in front of our barbershop. And Emery has the stuff out front. She's got the lemonade. She's got the carpet, the red carpet. I'm questioning her constantly. How can you do this better? How can we do this better? How can we stand out? And all of a sudden, she's out there selling lemonade. Krista's helping, I'm helping, but we're making her do it herself. Grandma's there with her, Grandpa, but we're making it do herself. So she sells a cup of lemonade for $2. And the most important thing is I said to her, what about cookies or popcorn? Is there an upsell? Is there something where you can make this $2 into a $5 or a $10? And here's a 4-year-old working the Colombo, just one more thing. So she would pour the glass of lemonade for the person. These guys are coming out of the shop. They're coming into the shop. There's kids, there's moms, there's dad. $2. Nobody can get by her, right? And you're obligated. She's 4 years old. So not just the $2 lemonade. She would say, and I had her memorize it. She goes, how would you like a cookie or a bag of popcorn with that? And right off the bat, 30%, 40% of people automatically. That's instead of $2 for just the lemonade, $5. Okay, $5. It's all donation, but $5. And she gives them a cookie, which she got donated. She got the lemonade donated. She got the lemons donated. She got everything donated. And from a friend of mine who runs the supermarket here in our town. And then she's got the popcorn machine in there. She can also sell popcorn. So instead of getting $2, she's getting 5s, 10s, and 20s. And she runs the stand for maybe 2 hours. That's as long as she can do it at age 4. And we go in and we count the money and we go home and the whole thing. And then Krista comes up with the idea, because I have a liquor license in the barber shop. I can sell beer, I sell craft beers, I sell whiskeys, I sell scotches, I sell, Bloody Marys, whatever. And Krista, I think maybe it was Krista who came up with the idea. She said, what about for people inside the shop who want a lemonade with a shot of rum, or a lemonade with a shot of vodka? And so we make up a sign. It's like $15 for an adult lemonade. So the guys are sitting there, instead of having a beer with their haircut or their shave, they're having a $15 or $20 lemonade with some rum in it or whatever. We got the liquor license. We can do whatever we want. And Krista helped out with all that. So adults only, of course, right? So at the end of the day, we take all the money home. We have all the corporate sponsorships, $4,000, and she does the whole thing. And we check, and I make her count the money like my father taught me. We're doing pennies, we're doing nickels, we're rolling it in the old cardboard things, right? All the pennies are rolled, all the nickels are rolled, all the dimes are rolled, all the quarters are rolled, old school. And she's got the bills, she's got the 5s, she's got the 10s, she's got the 20s, she's got the 50s. And she does this all on the kitchen table with me. I want her to have that relationship with money. I want her to think, you know, money loves me, I love money. I respect money. I appreciate money. Money is important. It's serious business. I want that in her mentality when she's 4, when she's 5, when she's 6, when she's 7. So at the end of the day, we get it all together, and she's got over $9,640 of cash. $9,640 some dollars of cash, donations, the whole thing, for a 4-year-old. And she did 95% of the work herself. So we take this money on the Monday and we go to my athletic trainer and we say, okay, we got $9,600, $9,600, take whatever, a little bit more, a little bit less. I said, how many kids can this put in the program? And so she said 11 or 12. So here's my daughter donates all the money. So that winter, which was 5 years ago, my daughter was directly responsible for 11 kids having hockey every Sunday for that entire winter in our community. Kids that would never normally have had the opportunity to buy the equipment, buy the skates, buy the sticks, buy all the gear, and they got to spend the entire winter, 11 people. And she put it on a big check. We dropped the puck at center ice at one of my Perth Blue Wing games in front of hundreds of people. And my daughter came out. She had the big check, $9,600 donation. She drops the puck and all this kind of stuff. I want that giving in her DNA. I want her to look around and say, you know what? Serving people is part of every transaction. When I'm in the insurance business, everything was about how can we serve others at the same time. In the barbershop today, it's how can we serve others at the same time. So it's not just about haircuts. I don't want to just do haircuts. I don't want to just sell insurance policies. I don't want to just sell books. Any dummy can do that. How can I serve people when I'm doing that? So that was the lemonade stand. Most kids, if they even have one, it's like, oh, I get to keep the money. We're like, who do you want to donate this money to? And if she wanted to keep some of the money, we would have said yes, but she never did. She said, how can I help these kids? And we gave her the choice. $9,600 and change to change a winter, a season for 11 kids. So it brings me to the lemonade stand this Sunday, because no longer are we on the corner. She just wanted to do this with an hour's notice. So Krista went into town. She got the lemonade. She got the ice. She got the whole thing. So I said to her, I said, Emery, I said, the biggest problem out here, I said, you don't have a starving crowd anymore. In town, you had a starving crowd, right? You had thousands of people driving by all day. Out here at the lake, you don't have a starving crowd. You're going to have to do the belly to belly, the nose to nose, the toe to toe, like Daddy did. Grandpa started McLean Insurance with a phone book. You know, Grandpa started the McLean Insurance with the Yellow Pages. My buddy Russ Lowry in Oklahoma, he started Oklahoma Insurance Group with the Yellow Pages. There was no starving crowd. It's called dial for dollars. Belly to belly, toe to toe, nose to nose. So this was a great experience because my daughter's 9 right now and she had her friend. And I'm like, listen, you're going to have to go around to these 4 houses and you're going to have to ask. And if you don't ask, you'll never get. And she knows that. But this was next level for her because she's no longer a little 4-year-old, you know, where everybody's the cute little kid. No. She's 9 years old now and she's knocking on a door. And she's shitting her pants, right? Like, she doesn't mind knocking on the door. She's really improving in those areas. But this was an amazing experience in salesmanship. Absolutely critical. So I went into town to do something here at the Mastermind House, and I'm driving back, and I haven't even bought any lemonade. This was Sunday afternoon. So, you know, everybody's out swimming and boating and jet skiing and all this stuff. And I come back, and here's the wagon. Here's this blue wagon, and she's got the big containers in it. She's got the cookies, and she's got chips, bags of chips. So she decided on her own, I didn't help her at all. She's got this big Bristol board thing that they did, lemonade stand, whatever they did with their art. And she's got the lemonade, the cups, the ice, and she's got the cookies, and she's got the bags of chips from Halloween. So she's got the upsell already built in. So $2 for a glass of lemonade, and then she's got the $5 deal with the upsell. So she already remembers that stuff. So to make a long story short, I come home and I'm like, how much money are you going to make when it's just your neighbors? I mean, Krista says to me, she goes, it could be a lean sales day. They wouldn't have made $10 because, you know, we're out in the country. And I'm driving the driveway and I go to Emery's on the trampoline. I said, how much money did you make, sweetie? She goes, I made $88 in the last hour. $88. Are you kidding me? She's out in the middle of nowhere. She's in the wilderness. She makes $88 without me, without yours relentless, even buying anything. And I said, $88? I said, who did you sell to? The trees? She's like, nope, I knocked on all 4 doors and all 4 families bought from us. She goes, I don't have any more lemonade left because I want to buy some, right? So I said, okay, I'll up it to $100 and Mommy will donate the money tomorrow. So what charity does she give it to this time? This is her, not any influence in us. She goes, I want to give it to the Children's Hospital. I want to give it to the Children's Hospital. A 9-year-old. I want to give it to the Children's Hospital this time. So Krista contacts a friend who uses the Children's Hospital. It's called CHIO in Ottawa. And she says, where can this money make at least a tiny impact? You know, where should we give this $100? And Krista and I have given thousands of dollars to CHIO through the years. And anyway, make a long story short, Krista donates the money on Sunday night, $100 from Emery's lemonade stand. It doesn't matter how much money it is with your kids or grandkids. It's that you're showing them, first of all, how to be incredible salespeople. And secondly, that they always link something of service to what you're doing. You're writing a book. Who's it going to serve? You're sending this email. Who can it help? You're doing a webinar. So what? You're selling the information, but how else can you help? Every time I did something in the insurance business or the barber shop or I was doing a newsletter, I would say, how can charity ride along with this? How can I serve more people while I'm doing this? I'm out knocking on doors and making phone calls and doing this and doing that. It's so simple to ask yourself, stop and ask yourself, well, you know what? How can I serve other people doing this? And that's what you need to, as a badass millionaire world builder, how can I serve people better like this? In the barbershop, we have back to school haircuts for free. We had, Special Olympics, all these things. I hope to God your business isn't about flooring tiles. I hope your business isn't about car washes. I hope your business isn't just about profit. I hope your business isn't just about the best pizza. I hope that you stand for something more than success. Being a badass millionaire world builder is about one word: significance. Success isn't hard. You can look up and here's a successful game plan and here's a blueprint. Success is not hard. Getting money is not hard. Significance is hard. Doing something in your life over the course of your life that outlives you. That's significance. You should be spending, you're over the age of 45, 55, 65, and you're building this world. What should be your number one focus every single day like mine? Every day I get up and I say to myself, I want to invest my time and energy in something that will outlive me. That's significance, not success. I already had success. I've already got lots of money. I've already had successful businesses. I've already won championships. I've got championship rings. I've already done all that stuff. That's success. And everybody has to achieve their own success on their tour of duty. But significance is the next level. When you got $10 million in the bank, or you've done this and you've done that, and you've traveled to France and what the hell is the significance? What are your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your great-grandchildren going to say when they Google you in 100 years? They're going to be able to do that. You're leaving a digital footprint. I don't care who you are. Your business is now a digital footprint. Your social media is a digital footprint. Your lemonade stand is a digital footprint. It might not be called Google at the time, but my great-great-great-grandchildren in 300 years, 400 years from now, God willing, are going to be able to look up and see what kind of a life did I? Did I help anybody? Or was I just some SOB who chased a dollar? Success is not the goal. Success is part of the goal, but the end game is significance. Significance. What kind of children did you raise? What kind of grandchildren are you helping nurture? What kind of difference did you make in the life of your employees? Or did you just sell pizzas? Or did you just win hockey games? Or did you just sell flooring tiles? Or did you just run 10,000 cars through the car wash? That's success, but it's not significance. This is why it's so important. I teach this stuff to my daughter and I make her do it. I'm not going to hold her hand. Lemonade stands. Oh, that's cute, Michael. It's not about that. It's number one about showing her that she needs to learn the skills to be a serious student the rest of her life, to sell her way through life. If she can't learn how to sell her way through life, she will be at the bottom and she will have to lead. She will have to deal with crumbs. Okay? Krista's a great salesperson. I'm a great salesperson. We're both self-taught. We ask for things. When the answer is no, we ask again. When the answer is no, we ask again. When the answer is no, we ask a different way. Okay? You'll never reach significance if you just take no for an answer. Can you clean my car? No. Asking, selling your way through life. Sometimes you got to sell yourself into a good college. You got to sell yourself into your first job. You got to sell yourself when you're building a funnel. You got to sell yourself all through life. And what this is a vaccination against all the anti-work, anti-success, anti-wealth, anti-America, anti-Canada, and anti-sales that your children and your grandchildren hear. Do you think they're going to learn in school that to be a proud salesperson? Do you think they're going to learn in church to be a proud salesperson? Do you think they're going to learn it from their friends to be a proud salesperson? Everybody talks about, Michael, world building and stuff like that. But you know what my grandfather was? General store, grew up in the back. He ran a general store. He was a proud salesman. You know what my father is? You know what my father is after 70 years in the entrepreneurial trenches? He's a lot of things, father, this and that. He's a proud and unabashed salesman. You know what I am? Okay, I'm an author, speaker, all this other nonsense. I have been, since 12 years old, a proud and unabashed salesman. And if guys like you and me don't go to work, including girls, guys, whatever it is, if we all take a nap for 6 weeks, the entrepreneurs, the businessmen, the businesswomen, the people that make things rock and roll, well, there is no economy. There is no schools. There is no hospitals. There is no T-ball teams. There is no 11 kids in hockey. My kid made that happen. My kid made that happen. Include your son and your daughter on your entrepreneurial journey. Share your struggles. Share your wins. And now you got grandkids? Are you kidding me? Get them involved at age 4. Get them involved at age 7. Get them involved at 14. What did Warren Buffett say that has more impactful than anything else when it comes to entrepreneurship? If you want your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids to run their own world, there's only one way. You're either a badass or you're a bootlicker in this world. One or the other. You either run your own show, you're either free, you're either independent, or you're not. You're a badass or you're a bootlicker. There's no in between. If you want your kid to be a badass and build their world to whatever they want, geez, Emery wants to run an animal shelter. I don't care, but she'll run her own animal shelter. If she wants to be a dentist or a lawyer or a doctor, great. She'll have to go to college, but she'll run her own practice. If she wants to sell shoes, she'll run her own business, and I'll teach her the skills to do that. She can do whatever the hell she wants, but I want her to build her own world. Badass, not a bootlicker. Okay? So we gotta talk sales up, and like at the dinner table, we talk, like I talk about guys that join my mastermind. I talk about how much money, this costs. I talk about new books. I talk about the podcast I was on today. I talk about being at the barber shop. I talk about the lemon. I talk, like, our life is seamless. I want my kid to hear that I'm out selling all day, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Look at all the titans in the world today, from Henry Ford to Dana White to the great football coaches and hockey coaches and entrepreneurs and Kevin O'Leary and Walt Disney. What was the common denominator? They were all proud and unabashed saleswomen and salesmen. That's the message I want to give to my kid. Every night we read that success book that my buddy Jeff Dean gave me, Success Isn't a Secret. Well, you know what? We read about Colonel Sanders last night. It took 5 minutes. Colonel Sanders in his mid-60s, 1,000 people said no. 1,000 people said, we don't want this chicken recipe. We don't want a franchise. He's out there in his 60s, toe-to-toe, belly-to-belly, eye-to-eye, and he's an unabashed and driven salesman. Every single person in that book, it doesn't matter if it was Rowling with her books, Billionaire, everybody said no. Everybody said no. The Wright brothers, they thought they were lunatics. You're going to fly in the sky? Nobody can do that. Everybody thought Thomas Edison was a lunatic. Everybody, it just goes on and on. Those are salespeople at the end of the day. That's what I read my kid at night. I mean, we're reading Harry Potter and we're reading these other books. But for that 5 minutes, when Krista and I do bedtime, we read about a great inventor, a builder, an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a businessman, and they were all people that sold their way through life. And that way they took the losses with knocking on doors, making phone calls, getting shot down. I say to my daughter when she goes to bed at night, we say our prayers and all that stuff, but I'm preparing her for war. I'm preparing her to build her own world. If she's going to be a top 1%er, she's going to have 90% people, 99% of people, critics. So I say to my 9-year-old every night, besides all the other stuff and our prayers and all that good stuff, I said, sweetheart, what will your critics say? What will your critics say? And you know what she answers me? She says to me, she goes, your daddy, I'm lucky. My dad bought me this. My mom bought me this. You're successful because you're rich. Girls can't do this. Women can't do this. This is a dumb idea. I'm preparing her for what's going to happen as she makes her way through school and becomes an entrepreneur. I'm bulletproofing her and getting her ready as a salesperson for her coming life. So when the critics appear, she's going to be able to okay, my dad told me that was coming. My dad told me that was coming. That's a good sign that I'm doing something with my life. You know, people are saying that I'm lucky, or I came from money, or my dad did this for me, or my mom did this for me, or women can't do this, or whatever. I've got her prepared. I know what's coming. That's leadership. That's leadership. Sweetheart, what are your critics going to say? And she reads about these people, the Williams sisters, and she reads about Earhart, and she reads about all these incredible Martha Stewart, these incredible women, Mary Kay. And I'm just, look at that badass. Look at that. She said 1,000 times they said no to her. They said a woman can't do that. This person can't do that. And boom, I take her on the boat in Naples and we go by the $40 million home of the late, great Mary Kay. It's pink. We stop there and I make a point. I'm like, badass. She, just incredible. That was sweat equity. That was relentlessness. That was guts. That was grit. That was integrity. And somebody raised that kid back in the day to be a proud and unabashed saleswoman. You're going to hear everything else but that. But just because you hear it now and just because you're a salesman doesn't mean your kids know that. Doesn't mean your grandkids. Get out there and sell. What I say is I sell the message. I sell the message is what I'm doing. I'm like, you know what? What we talk about here is success spoken. So I'm battling the rest of that nonsense. Anti-work, anti-family, anti-achievement, You know what? If we're going to stand around and not teach, if we're not going to train our kids, if we're not going to communicate with our spouses and our grandkids, then we have nobody to blame but ourselves. If the message isn't getting through, it's my fault. In my home, Chris and I, that's our responsibility. Not the White House, not Parliament Hill, not some prime minister, not some president, not some guy on Shark Tank. The message about salesmanship and saleswomanship, it's got to come from us. So lemonade stands may seem cute and insignificant, but they're not. I'm training her to create marketing, promotion, and most importantly, to serve others at the same time. That's it. I have nothing more to say on that. I am being interviewed tomorrow by the great Bill Gaw. If you don't know Bill Gaw, you will after tomorrow, 2 p.m. I'm going to be sitting in this chair. He can ask me any question he wants. We've been friends since 2004. He knows everything about me, my good, my bad, my ugly. The link is below. If you're not on this video call, then you've got brain damage, because I'm going to be answering things that I normally would never answer on a video. I would never put in an email. I wouldn't even put in a newsletter, because we're buddies. So it's Rush Limbaugh versus Nick Saban. And the other thing is you get all of his success too. I mean, the guy is like, he's knocking it out of the park these days. He lost 90 pounds. His marriage has never been better. His relationship with his children. I mean, the guy's in another business. I mean, he's relentless. He's building his own world. That's tomorrow, Tuesday at 2 p.m. And we'll talk for about 90 minutes because we both really like to talk and talk about winning and losing. So you can, if you haven't signed up below, you can do that below. Marc-Andre will put the link in this video. He'll also put the link in the PS. Nothing to buy. I'm not selling anything on this. It's just me giving back to you. If you'd like to talk to two battle-tested guys and listen to them for an hour and a half, then do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine as well. It doesn't change my life anyway. But if you want to sign up, grab one of the 200 line below. That's it. 2 words that changed my life. I am a proud and unabashed salesman, and you've got to sell your way through life, or your kids and your grandkids will have to settle for the crumbs. Teach them to support themselves. Teach them to be able to be self-reliant. Teach them to be dropped out of a plane anywhere in the world, and within 24 hours they would be up and running and making money. Teach your kids that. Teach your grandkids that. It was like you drop them out of the plane, can they survive? Or are they like 99% of the teenagers that I work with now who wouldn't have a hope of hell of lasting for 48 hours? They wouldn't know what to do without internet. They wouldn't know what to do without mommy and daddy giving them their lunch money, and they're 24 years old. Teach your kid to be self-reliant. Teach your kid to be independent, and teach your kid how to sell. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that are changing yours. Be relentless.